Thank you very much to Jasmine Mazwi for the headlines. There will be a full bulletin on top of the hour. So we still are speaking to the ladies here, representative of Mothers for the Future, mostly about the event they had today. Sources to do, just in terms of any challenges with today's event, did everything go as smoothly, or did you guys...
Everything went very well, even though the people that they were invited, the specific that each issue that mothers are face, I've sent the invitation in very early, and I did some follow-ups, but I was very surprised today that they didn't pitch.
Wow.
And that shows that and how sex workers are so when they raise their voices, they not be heard. And the way that, because sometimes when we do lobbying, we tell people that what is happening in the industry, and people, they don't believe it. And when we're doing events, such an event like this, dialogues, to say, come and hear from horse's mouth, and then people, they don't preach. So today it went very well, where we were having a discussion around the legal issues for sex workers and the children, and the social support, and also a health. DOH was there, the Department of Health was there, where they hear from horse's mouth, and also discussing about the social development things, even though Department of Social Development was not there, but some people that we want to hear around the social development, what the mothers need on that. There is a lot, but it went very well, because we get to where we end up having a resolution, and we have with the conclusion that what is the way forward, what we want to see, and if we're talking about the health equity in South Africa. But if we want to talk about health equity in South Africa, but if we still not coming and hear other people's voice, and not looking at them and hear what are their challenges, we're not going to get health equity. We're looking forward to get health equity in South Africa. But it seems like today, for me, if I'm as a person who involved in the program of Tekano, where we're advocating for health equity in South Africa, when there is voices that not to be heard, that means that the system still fails, and fails everyone, because it's not all about sex workers only, but it's all about community. That health is affecting everyone. So they were supposed everyone to come and hear these voices of these women who want to say something to them about health equity. But I hope for the next level, and looking forward to do more dialogues and getting more resources on doing these dialogues, and keep on calling them to come and hear these voices, and so that we can get to 1990, but I don't see 1990 to reach it, so that we can respond on HIV and AIDS, because we still have the key population behind. They left behind, and I'm still saying that.
Okay. Now, when you speak of the issue of the name Mothers for the Future, it's very related much to children. How does this just affect children moving forward?
I'll start so that people and people from the community can understand, especially in the station of the Activate. That means that as mothers, our children are also youth are involved in this Activate. So they affected our children not able to participate in the Activate because they are sex workers children. So that means that the criminalization is affecting our children in terms of stigma and discrimination towards them, bullying at school, and also they also not taking serious and responding to HIV. Children of sex workers affected by HIV, there is no programs for them, and there is no support, psychosocial support for them. Because that means, because it's a challenge for their mothers itself to access services, reproductive health, to report cases. How can the mother who still have a problem to talk with the head child, the girl child, how can as a mother chat with my child about sexual reproductive health, of which me and myself are still doing the backstreet abortion? That means it's still a challenge. We're still behind.
How do we desensitize society? How do we make them aware that sex work is work, and it is happening every day, and it is done by normal people that we see every day? And I'm using that very carefully, the word normal. So are there any events that you are planning so that they can raise more awareness about sex work, Mothers for the Future, and the work that Sweat is doing doing on the ground as well?
Yeah, what I can say that we really need more resources to hold these spaces where we can do the dialogues. We need more resources so that we can reach and sensitize people and put education in people. But the fact that sometimes the resources is very limited, we're not able to get to the locations where we can able to face the community itself. But that it's very important because it's the fact, it's truth. Sex workers are human beings and are coming from the same house where you stay. And if we're not singakwazi ukuthi siyibone leyo nto ukuthi khona ukuthi I think apha eSouth Africa siyathanda ukwenza uaction when izinto sezonakele kakhulu kanti manje ma-saving sisave even abantwana abancane to enter in the industry bengeke baze babe saved. Ngithi ke kwi-youth activate, it's very important for you also to support decriminalization of sex work in South Africa, because it's not all about recruiting new sex workers or recruiting children, but it's to save those children or those women who will be getting in the industry and experience what all these mothers are going through. So decriminalization, it's only way that we save and everyone knows about what's happening in the industry. It's a human. Let's live morality. Let's use a human rights approach.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Pamela, any last words?
Oh, okay. Ndifuna uchaza nge-group endinayo or i-group esikuyo. We are like 4. Yeah, by 4. 4 activators. Uziyanda Menxe, Xolelo Akbeko, Avuzo Abe, Ngubo, Nam, Pamela Jakula. We're having this group, just transforming minds. We're talking and dealing with depression with black society. Like we're going to Lokshini, like next month we're planning on going Kwenye Lokishi because go September we went to Ekailicha for depression, and then we spoke about depression. That depression is real and it's something that is happening. Because once ube ngumuntu omnyama and then umntana athi umbona ba depressed and all those things, awufumani ba the signs of depressions, but you just see uba lo mntana uyaphambana lo okanye uqala stage esitsha or something. So see la group, and then siyacela ba abantu ba like ku Facebook it's written mental illness. I-group yethu igama layo sicela abantu babe khona phana because we do write motivations and we do need some help like sponsors nendoni for basinzi iqhubekeke.
All right, thank you.
Sister Ju, any last words?
I-last words yami ithi nje ukuze sithole hey ngimningi man ngoba ngine-stress ngoba I'm still an ambassador of children affected by HIV and yangistressa yabona yabantwana ukuthi namhlanje itori engizive namhlanje I was so surprised if kukhona umama bathi ene abantwana babo they not able to take medication. What a huge gap. What a huge gap. So njengamanje nje into engayishiya ebantwini, let's buke ngamanye amehlo engqondo si progress si understand ukuthi kukhona and I know ukuthi khona abanye ngeke siba chintshe ingqondo zabo, kodwa masingahambi ngalobo hlobo, masambe ukuthi is safety, is security, and isihambe ngaphansi kwe-constitution ne-human rights bill, support decriminalization of sex work in South Africa. Uzobona.
Yes.
Okay. And then if people want to get in contact with you with regards to being part of Mothers for the Future movement, how can they do that?
I would really like December so besenza iphathi yabantwana bama sex workers ngicela ama donation, kungaba icathulo, kungaba manabukeni, kungaba obhaka, stationery. If you like to contribute or to donate, you can go to Sweat Facebook or Sweat website, and then you'll get it and you'll find us, and then you can call even us in our offices, and you can bring also clothes because we have mothers who are staying outside with their children.
And there you have it. Decriminalization of sex work by sex workers. It needs to happen because sex work is work.
Very much.
Thank you so much, ladies, for coming to the station. Thank you so much for your honesty and your in-depth insights.
Thank you.
Maybe people there on the ground will be able to, go to Sweat on Facebook and understand what you do further and be in contact with you as well to do with your group mental health.
Pam,
mental health. You know what I mean? Thank you so much, ladies, for joining us. At the last bit of the hour, we're going to be talking to a writer. And I'm sure she's on standby right now. She's going to take us through her writing journey. And as we are still commemorating the month that focuses on gender-based violence, she's going to take us through that as well. And it will tie in very nicely with what we're talking about here.
The opinions expressed on Bush Radio programs by the host, co-hosts, volunteers, guests, callers, or by any other means of interaction in this program are solely the opinions of the original source who expresses them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Bush Radio or its partners. The purpose of this radio program is for the public to address issues which affect the various communities Bush Radio services. We are open to your criticism or ideas for future radio programs. Please feel free to email us at feedback@bushradio.co.za.
15 minutes until the hour of 4. We've been here. You're listening to Activate Hour. If you just joined us, I am your host, Shadrach, and I'm not alone.
And I'm Zilungile Zimela, and it's good to be here once more.
Yeah, and it's time. We're very passionate about, reading and the access of knowledge, and not just in the academic side, in terms of, reading for pleasure, for personal growth. And
writing for expression. So what we want to do is to grow a community of young readers between the ages of 13 and 25 that can go on to become literate adults. And that kind of literacy is going to help them for life. It's not about reading only to understand, but it's also about reading to enjoy reading so that you can be able to express yourselves as well and be able to contend like the winner that you are in different spheres of life.
Yes. And before we do our first interview, we got an SMS. It says, a big shout out to Dudu Dlamini for our vision and dedication to Mothers for the Future. You do amazing work for children and mothers, and your work is truly admirable. From Dr. Tlaleng Mofokeng. Awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But now to the matters at hand.
Right now it's time for us to read for pleasure and write for expression. And online we have got Nobisa.
Nobisa, is she there? Hello?
We're going to try and get her back online.
Yeah.
We're just having a small technical difficulty. We're going to be speaking to Unabisa, who is a writer who writes under a specific pseudonym, but she's going to take us through her writing journey and make us understand why it is that she started writing. Unabisa has written a number of stories that are available on the FunDza website. They're available on the FunDza Live library, which you can find on FunDza. It's actually live.fundza.mobi. And if you are a young person who's looking for stories, who's looking for poems, who's looking for essays and inspiration, really, you can go onto the library and access different kinds of stories. She is also part of a program called After School Action Series, which is sponsored by the Western Cape government and Community Chest. And she's going to make us understand why she started writing in the first place. And she also writes pieces titled I Am Not Your Hello Nice, which address situations where she was catcalled in a rank and in various other places as well. And this happens every day in South African communities. And these are things that we need to speak against. We need to understand them. And we also need to uproot them from the grass level. Nobisa also writes under a specific pseudonym, and we hope to understand why it is that she writes under that particular pseudonym. And she's going to make us understand why she started writing and why she still continues to write to this day. Some of her work has been included in FunDza anthologies that are used in schools. And yeah, she's going to make us understand. Do we have her back online?
Nobisa, are you there?
Hello, Nobisa.
Okay, she seems to be. We're going to try again one last time. I'm sure we should be able to get her. But for now, let's just let you know what we're about.
Activate is a network of young people in South Africa dedicated to driving positive change within our communities. 5 focus areas have been identified to improve and monitor the impact of the work being done by our organizations and partners. These focus areas, known as the Big 5, look at health, literacy, youth economic participation, active citizenship, as well as interconnectedness and inclusivity, with a focus on gender and gender-based violence. If you would like to know more about the work we do or partner with us, please visit us on Facebook at Activate Change Drivers or on Twitter with the handle at ActivateZA, or visit our website on www.activateleadership.co.za.
And we are back on Bush Radio 89.5. We're still trying to get hold of Nwabisa, I think. Hopefully this time we have. Nwabisa, are you there? Hello?
Hello, Nwabisa. Nwabisa? It seems like we're not able to get a hold of Nwabisa. Are we going to try one more time and see if we can get her? We're going to try just one last time and see if we can get her online, just to get her insights about the kind of work that she has done and the prolific pieces that she has written.
The opinions expressed on Bush Radio programs by the host, co-hosts, volunteers, guests, callers, or by any other means of interaction in this program are solely the opinions of the original source who expresses them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Bush Radio or its partners. The purpose of this radio program is for the public to address issues which affect the various communities Bush Radio services. We are open to your criticism or ideas for future radio programs. Please feel free to email us at feedback@bushradio.co.za.
Basi Montewa. When no one can speak your language, Basi Montewa. And no one understands your French, Basi Montewa. Don't despair. Basi Montewa is on Back Chat weekdays between 2 and 4 p.m. on Bush Radio 89.5 FM. Bush Radio 89.5 FM. It's not a language thing. It's not an understanding. It's a chat with Basi Montewa. Basi Montewa. Get it right, Basi Montewa on Backchat. Bush Radio 89.5 FM.
Bush Radio 89.5. I love this station.
FM 89.5 FM. With a smooth operator on board, you do not afford an average chat, and definitely you wouldn't afford an average lingo. It doesn't have to be a juju.
The date of when are you paying the money? Of order. These things of point of order are the ones that you are hiding behind. You are very good at that, because every time reports are brought here, it's point of order, point of order. We are here to ask questions and we need answers. Please.
He speaks for and with the winners.
We'll be picking one lucky winner each day this week. Guess what?
With Basi Montewa.
1,000 rand richer.
On Backchat, Bush Radio 89.5 FM, not your average smooth operator. The smooth operator, Basi Montewa. Basi Montewa on Backchat weekdays from 2 p.m. until 4 p.m. FM 89.5 FM 89.5
FM.
9 million young women aged between 12 to 19 miss a week of school every month due to the lack of sanitary pads. I, Natasha Sitkaza, care about the well-being of these young women. Become part of the Bush Radio Dignity Campaign by donating any sanitary pads to Bush Radio at 330 Victoria Road, Salt River. Or if you wish to bulk donate, call us on 021-448-5450 and we can collect.
Support the Bush Radio Dignity Campaign. Donate sanitary pads.
7 minutes until the hour of 4 o'clock. Unfortunately, we can't get hold of
Yeah.
There seems to be a problem with the lines, but we'll definitely,
We're definitely going to have her in the weeks to come,
Yeah.
or perhaps next week, to speak more about the kind of work that she has written and what she's currently doing right now. And I suppose key to note is what she's doing with the After School Action Series that is sponsored by the Western Cape government and the Community Chest, that aims to get young people reading even after school. And with the kind of work that FunDza is doing, what we're trying to do is to get books in the hands of young people across South Africa, physical books. And we're trying to write stories where young people can see themselves as characters. They can see the settings of the communities from which they come, so that they can fall in love with reading. You know, you fall in love with what you are, what you can identify with, something that you can relate with. And that's something that Nwabisa has written very strongly about. She's written slice of reality pieces that will leave you, you know, having mental notes. It will leave you having conferences of the mind to understand where are you and where are you going as a person. A particular story is I Am Not Your Hello Nice, that was published on the 1st of March 2018 as part of a Mindspace blog. There's something that she writes there which I find very riveting. She writes, as young South African women, this is the kind of man we have to deal with every single day of our lives. He comes in different forms. He is a construction worker. He is a security guard. He is the guy that sells stolen perfume and flash drives on the train. He is the cashier who can't resist caressing your hand as he gives you your change. He is a taxi driver who claims your mini skirt made him scream sexual innuendos at you. He is that frog look-alike that drives the latest German car. He is a brother to some girl, and I know for a fact that he would be livid if someone did the same to his sister. But he seems to think that it's all right to harass me. So we would like to pick her brain about this particular piece, why she wrote this. And I understand that it was a slice of reality. She had been working in a taxi rank, and she was catcalled, and she was, you know, given so many names by men who are supposed to protect her. And as we observe Gender-Based Violence Month, and as we try to uproot it and alleviate it as much as possible, it is very important for us to educate our society. There are things that we need to unlearn. There are things that we need to relearn. And there's definitely some reconciliation that needs to take place. I mean, for instance, with the rape trial that is taking place right now between Pastor Omotoso and Cheryl Zondi. And I questioned personally the line of questioning of the defense in that particular case, the kind of questions that were asked. And social media was abuzz saying that the way in which those questions were asked to the lady, the victim, were in a manner that will discourage other rape victim and rape survivors out there to come out. And the thing is, there is this whole propaganda because this guy is a pastor, and it's not been proven yet if he's guilty or not, but his social status alone is intimidating enough for a victim to go to the law and complain, or rather press charges. And now you go to court and you are questioned in that particular manner. It also begs the question, how should questions be asked in a rape case? What kind of line of questioning should you take as a cross-examiner, as a defense, and as a lawyer? And we have writers, we have feminists, we have social activists on the ground that are questioning this as well. And it's going to be very interesting when we get to Nwabisa next week to understand what her stance is on this. Is she going to be writing any blog post or a book that will address gender-based violence, rape, catcalling, and all those things? Yeah.
Definitely something to look forward to. So today's been quite an informative show, you know, touching on, you know, quite serious topics that affect basically everybody, everyone within our society is affected by the issues that we've discussed. And so if you've got an opinion, or you'd like to share your side of the story, or just give advice, or, you know, you're just willing to give your help, or to just lend an ear, you're more than welcome to go to Activate Change Drivers. That's our Facebook page, and give us your story, opinions. You can DM us right on the wall, or alternatively, you can SMS 32158 which is the Bush Radio setup.
And they can send us a quick tweet as well at FunDza Club on Twitter, or at Activate ZA.
I'm Shadrach Sedi.
And I'm Zilungile Zimela. Makudete bumnyama kuvele kukhanya.